Legal actions against the current Finnish government challenging the status quo in the case of United States of Biafra Prime Minister Simon Ekpa Njoko. Under the leadership of the Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Govt, the United States of Biafra government has set in motion a legal process in the appropriate court, summoning and seeking for an immediate injunction against the unwarranted transnational repression by the current Finland government against the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa in favor of terrorist Nigeria regime. The collaboration between the current Finnish government and the demandable by any stretch of imagination the terrorist and the criminal corrupt Nigeria regime in the case of Prime Minister is an absolute disregard for the fundamental principle of human rights to self-determination, of which was the same founding principle for the independence of the Republic of Finland. The actions of the current Finnish government encourage the ongoing genocide against Biafrans. It is rather ridiculous that Alex Stubb is the president of Finland. It is rather ridiculous that Alex Stubb found it worthy to collaborate with a monstrous Nigeria, the most deadliest place for Christians to inhabit, and the most place that the criminality has been perfected beyond the understanding of man, which he himself, which Alex Stubb himself refers to as an unholy alliance in his book. The current Finnish government's action suggests that our fathers, our mothers, our grandfathers, our grandmothers, and our ancestors did not have a country or existed before the establishment of an artificial Nigeria with artificial boundaries and artificial flag by the British. You recall that the Finnish ambassador to Nigeria, Sana Salin, and Finland Nigeria made a prejudicial statement against the Prime Minister, lamenting that he is hindering Finland access to the entire system of the fraudulent Nigeria regime, which gives them illegal access to the natural resources that should bolster the economy of United States of Biafra, offering safe and prosperous markets for the global community at large. It is the responsibility of any government to respond to action of transnational repression, negligence in upholding the applicable rule of law, and human rights violations against its population. The United States of Biafra calls on the Finnish government to save the nation's integrity, as history will educate the future generation of the deeds of those who chose to be our enemies. Finland must attempt to circumvent the sovereignty of the United States of Biafra, but rather should boldly approach Biafra government with sincerity and diplomacy through the front door and not through the back door, entire system of the terrorist Nigeria regime. The immediate release of Prime Minister His Excellency Simon Ekpa Njoko is sacrosanct, and Finland must quickly jettison the unholy alliance with the Nigeria terrorist regime. Yes, you guys know recently, about I think on the 9th of May, this 2025, the Finland local media released an update from Finland regarding the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, saying that he is suspected of terrorism and incitement. Suspects, they are still suspecting, so that he'll be charged when the case is transferred to the senior prosecutor. If this legal action is taken upon Finnish government, as this illegal detention is still going on with Maazi Nnamdi Kanu, so for Finland, they will think it will be very easy for them to detain Simon Ekpa without any appropriate investigation, because according to them, they said that the investigations were made with Nigeria authorities. Who are the Nigeria authorities? What about all these things going on in Nigeria? Are Finland, the authorities or legal whatever, are they not seeing everything happening in Nigeria? Killings going on in Nigeria by the Fulani bandit. They have the Fulani presidential permit, of which I've posted one time. Another update from Finland. Yes, this update came in on the 14th of May 2025 from Finland to the United States of Biafra government. You all remember that when Simon Ekpa, the Prime Minister of the United States of Biafra, when he was arrested, there were 4 other Biafrans along him that the Finland local investigator took together. According to them, then they said that those 4 Biafrans were terrorist financiers, you understand. So the update, even though they were later released, but those charges were still on them. But yesterday this update came in that all the charges against those 4 people had been dropped and dismissed because they didn't find any evidence against them. Do you understand? This update came in, like this particular place I read and I say this decision and update was made in Finland and communicated to the United States of Biafra government today, May 14th, 2025. I'm reading from the official handle of the Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Orabeze. So this is a welcome development and we are patiently waiting for the release of our ever Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa. Okay, kindly share this video and be hopeful. Alright, bye.
Funding you and your organization.
Biafra people are funding my organization.
Not the Tinubu party.
I have nothing to do with Tinubu, and you know, it's very funny. A lot of people said Tinubu paid me 25 million. How is that possible? How is it possible?
You're denying
he did. I don't know who is Tinubu. I have never communicated with anybody close to him. Just like the way they forged the letter. The reason why this letter issue, Nigeria is a criminal country. They breed criminals, and that is what we are fighting against. The reason why the letter on gets sorted out easily and fast was because it was against Finland, and Finland have to officially react to the letter, and the letter went viral. There are so many lies against me out there on social media. Nobody could come and say it is not true. Okay, so that and those lies, when they continue to say it and maintain it, it becomes truth when nobody debunk it.
You talk about criminals. Do you think the candidates for the presidency are criminals?
They are all criminals. Yes, all of them.
Even Peter Obi.
Peter Obi is a criminal.
But he's a southerner, isn't he?
He doesn't. I am not a tribal. Listen, I'm not a tribalist. I'm not a tribalist, and that is what makes us different. We want. If I'm criticizing you, I criticize you with fact and figures. I'm going to tell you how all of them are. Do I explain? One, starting from Atiku. Atiku was indicted in the United States for money laundering. He's a criminal. How do you think if Nigeria is a United States, Atiku will come back and start contesting with the criminal record he has to have for money laundering? Tinubu was indicted in the United States for drug pushing. The records are there. So it's criminal. Nigeria is being ruled by criminals, and they breed criminals. Peter Obi his name was in Pandora. He didn't deny it. It's also the part of money laundering, international money laundering crime. He has $15 million in offshore accounts.
But surely Obi, being a southerner, is on the side of your people.
That is the problem. Why must you have somebody that have to be in the side of my people? That is the dangerous diversity that have brought us this far, because it will never work. Everything about Nigeria is what favors my people. We want a Biafra where everything favors everybody. But when you have Nigeria, it is either Fulani. Now we don't even have Hausa anymore because Fulani have overshadowed them. So it is either you are fighting for Northerner as a Fulani Muslim, or you are fighting for Yorubas, or you are fighting for Igbo people. So how can you continue in that kind of system? This is why we must make sure that we do not validate Nigeria again.
Right. What's your relationship with Mr. Kanu at the moment?